अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कैसे हैं आप लोग? ठीक हैं? Hope so आप you are doing good. In previous lecture we were talking about discourse analysis and grammar, and we discussed some of the aspects of coherence and reference. In today's lecture we will see about the types of cohesive and the references, how many types of references and cohesion that we have in discourse and how these works. Most probably we have three different types of cohesive references that are being used or that are being utilized in discourse analysis or with respect to grammars. First one personal, second one demonstrative, and third one comparative. What is personal? As you observe from the state of from the word that personal mean individual, it might be possible that it will be individual, and demonstrative where we have to demonstrate the things, and in comparative where we have to compare the aspect of the things. The first reference that we have, that is personal reference, and you can imagine the meaning and the understanding of the word personal. Personal mean where we have to become a personal reference, or where we have to put our personality in front of the people's, or sometimes we utilize the aspects of other people's while utilizing the pronoun first person, second person, or third persons. Personal in a sense that where we have to use the persons of pronoun we have, you know very well about, we have three types of persons: first person, second person, and third person. Sometimes while conversating or while conversations going on, we try to indicate some personal indication that may lead us to understand the situation, or that may lead us to understand the meaning of that conversation that is being proceed. And you know very well, personal first person, it's mean I and we, and the second person that we have just you, and third person he, she, it, and they, and other aspects of it, just like every, each, and any. These are the things that may be utilized while doing the references of while doing the references in any statements. It's very obvious to understand when we utilize he, him, she, her, and we know very well about where we have to use the possessive pronoun, where we have to use the subjective and objective case of the pronouns. Personal references deals with the interactions of the persons. Person mean as recently informed you, persons mean that personal references. So personal references we have the stereotypes. First one first person, second one second person, and third one third person. Just indicate the example that we have. The prime minister has resigned. He announced his decision this morning. Here, first of all, the prime minister, the word prime minister noun is being utilized here, but with reference to prime minister here, again he is used, or he is a reference of prime minister, and again his decision, the decision of prime minister, again it is a reference that is leading toward us, that is leading us toward prime ministers. In this statement, or in this example that we have, the prime minister has resigned, it's mean we have two reference. First one, subjective case of pronoun of third person, just he, and the second reference is a possessive determiners that is used in the statement here, decisions. So personal mean where we have to see the personal pronouns. I think you got the point. After that we have demonstrative reference. Demonstrative reference mean that you have to be very much clear about the things, how many things that can be demonstrated. Before moving toward the demonstrative reference, we have to see the demonstrative pronoun. As we have this, the demonstration is something where we have to pinpoint the things while utilizing this, that, these, those, here, there, then, and these are the words that can be used as a demonstrative reference. But demonstrative pronoun is very much important to indicate the statement, or indicate the conversation that we have at that time. So first of all, we have four demonstrative pronoun that may be used in demonstrative reference. This is is used just to indicate the things that we have in front of us, and that is used singular, the use of to put a sign or put an indication over the things that we have far away from us. And these are the plural of this, and those are the plural of that. So this, that, these, and those are demonstrative pronoun, considered as a demonstrative pronoun as well. But again, from moving onward, and from moving toward other aspects of demonstrative references, we have here and there. Here is indication of presence of the things, and there is the indication of that things that are not in front of us. And then, and the other aspect as well can be utilized as other adverbs as well, utilized just in order to show demonstrative reference. So sometimes speaker utilize demonstrative reference that may indicates the situation, or that may indicates the meaning of the things that he or she is wants to express. Here is an example that we have in this slide. I always buy a lot of books when I am in England. There are many lovely bookshops there. So again, I always buy a lot of books when I am in England. England is a place. There are many lovely bookshops there. Again, there is being utilized to indicate the place of England. So again, here we have the reference of demonstration in this slide. After that, we have comparative reference. Comparative reference, sometimes we utilize a reference just in order to compare the things. And comparative, you know very well about the comparative words, where we have to compare two different aspect of the things, two different aspect of the elements, and two different things as well. Or we can compare two person, two items, two schools and universities and colleges, even the any task that we have, or even the any quantity that we have. Comparative references keeps track of identity and similarity through indirect references, using adjectives like same, equal, similar, different. Else, better, we have as well. Adverbs like so much, similarly, otherwise, so, more, most. These are the words that may be utilized as comparative references. And in the statement, if we see same, equal, similar, different, better, more, and some other words, more and most, we can clearly imagine that here is a comparative of two different aspects, two different things, two different peoples, two different universities, two different colleges, and two different schools that we have. Even we can compare any aspect of this universe. If we have two different aspects, we can compare them just in order to show the superiority and inferiority of the things, just in order to show the reliability of that, just in order to show the performance and the action of that things that are being presented in there. Let's see the example. Sorry for that. A similar view is not acceptable. We did the same. A similar review is not acceptable. Here similar, it's mean a view has been presented already presented. There is an already submitted a view, and second person again submit that review, and the examiner and the person and the indicator and the checker narrated that is similar view is not acceptable. It's mean there is already available a review, so he demanded something different from that review that he had already in their lap, or in their laptop, in their organization. Sometimes again we did the same again. There is an instructions that were being prolonged, or there are some suggestions that have been shown before, and the other person, and we are directed to follow them. Then we are recommending that we are doing the same, that as you are directed us. Again, so they said it's mean again he had some review over the statement, that he again said some of the positive or negative aspects of the things that maybe occurred before saying so they said because it's the general perception of the things that we conversate, that we implement, or that we direct the things, that there is some, it might be possible that there was some misunderstanding. So there was, it would be a positive aspect of the statement. And again, if the opposite results might be possible, and opposite results might be expected, so that we can say that so they said so. So, a comparative reference is a reference where we have to compare the different things. It is a reference that is not being utilized directly, it is indirect reference that may be proceed the conversation, that may proceed, that may help us while utilizing the best option of meanings, or the good command of the conversation as well. After that, we have substitutions and ellipses. Substitutions and ellipses, what are they? First of all, let's see the things. Whereas referencing functions to link semantic meanings within text, substitutions and ellipses differ in that they operate as a linguistic link at the lexical or grammatical level. What are they? Substitutional and ellipses are used when a speaker or writer wishes to avoid the repetition of a lexical item and draw on one of the grammatical resources of the language to replace the items. Sometimes substitutions and ellipses. Substitution is the replacement of the things, and ellipses might be ellipsed or omit the things that we have in our statements. If a speaker does not want to repeat, if a speaker does not want to repeat his statement, his concerns, but he wanted to put the same message, but he wanted to express the same meaning of the conversation that he had, so he utilized substitutions. He always utilizes substitution if he wants to express the same thing while utilizing the different words. Let's see what are the substitutions again. Substitution is the replacement of a word or a phrase with a filler word, such as one, so, or do, to avoid repetitions. As I earlier described substitution, the substitution is the replacement of the things, is a replacement of a word or a phrase or a statement, even a whole lectures. But writer or a speaker doesn't want to express or doesn't want to use the same words that he had in his or in her previous talk, so he wants the substitution over there. We have three different ways of substituting in a statement. What are they? Let's move on to learn about the substitutions. Three different substitutions that may apply in a statement. Types of substitution. The first one is nominal substitution, and the second one is a verbal substitution, and the third one a clausal substitution. Nominal, where we have to utilize the concept of nominal cases. It's mean noun and pronoun. And the verbal, we have to utilize the combination of causes and reason while utilizing the verb. And in third level, in clausal, we have to utilize not with reference to reasons and causes. But let's move on to have a look over one by one. The first one is nominal substitution. In nominal substitution, the most typical substitution words are one and ones. Let's go and see the bears. The polar ones are over on that rock, or just let's go and see the bears. Or just we have another substitution as well. Let's go and see the bears. Bears, he utilizes the word bears, and it's the plural. But the polar ones are over on that rock. Polar ones, it's mean first he utilized the word bears. Bears is the plural word of bear, and the bear mostly can see over the Rocky Mountains, even the snowy aspect or snowy mountain of this universe. But first he mentioned the word bears. In second statement, he also mentioned the type of bears, just like polar ones. Polar ones, again, indication here. The word polar is the type of, and the ones is again indicating or referencing the word bears. If in other examples, if I say that I want, do you want coffee, or do you want tea? Again, the second speaker say that yes, I want coffee, but not hard, but light ones. Again, he again put the reference for ones is for the coffee. Again, we have another example that there, this car is mine, but that one is yours. And this car is mine and that one is your. One is again indicating the word car, because there are two cars, and first one, the first speaker indicate that this is mine and that one yours, or that one yours. One is indication of the car, because the car being proceed in the statement, and the speaker wants to indicate the differences between the car and the car of himself and the car of yours. So he say that this car is mine, and but that car is yours, and that one is yours. It's the nominal substitutions. Nominal substitutions mean the most typical substitution that may utilize one in ones, or just they are replacing the concept of noun. Car is a noun, bear is a noun, he or she can be utilized as a noun or pronoun. But do remember, nominal references is being utilized just in order to put references, or just in order to put substitutions in the concept of noun. After that, we have verbal substitutions. As you know very well about the substitutions mean where we have to substitute the things, where we have to replace the things, and the most common substitution is the verb do, and which is sometimes used in conjunction with so, as, and do so. Oh, if I want to ask you a question, can you do your task? Oh, yes, I do. Can you do your task? Oh, yes, I do. Did you hear me? Yes, I did. It's mean again, do and did. Do is the first form and did is the second form, and here we utilize the things just in order to put substitution over the verb. Sometimes we utilize so, as, and do so. And did Mary take that letter? She might have done. And do not, and auxiliaries. She can drive the car, but I cannot. And again, I cannot is the substitution. I cannot drive the car. I cannot drive the car. It's being the whole phrase being substituted while utilizing the just one auxiliaries. She can drive the car, but I cannot. I cannot. It's indicating the suggestion, or it indicating the meaning that a car cannot be driven by me. It's mean cannot is the substitution of can drive the car. It's mean can't drive the car. She wrote the homework, but I did not. Again, did not, it's the replacement, or it's the substitution of homework. She wrote the homework, but I did not. What I did not do? Actually, I did not write the homework. So I put, I do not want to utilize the word wrote again. So I say so, but I did not. I did not is the replacement of I did not write the homework. Hope so. Verbal substitution may be the substitution of verbs and auxiliaries that may be replaced while utilizing the same concepts that we have in our previous statement, that we have in our conversations. So we'll move to the third one, that we have clause substitutions. In clause substitutions, an entire clause is substituted by so and not. And previously we just substitute word and phrases, but in clausal substitutions we substitute whole clause. Clause mean a clause. We have two types of clause. First one independent clause, and second one dependent clause. Independent clause that may express its meaning and can withstand its own, or it is entitled with subject and predicate, all while dependent clause cannot be capable enough to stand its own. It might be possible that dependent clause has its own subject and predicate, but not be in a position to express its meaning alone. It's mandatory for a substitute clause or a dependent clause to make a bridge with independent and the rest of the sentence. Here we have some of the substitution where we utilize, or where we can convert, where we can replace whole clause while utilizing some of words so and not. Just I believe so. I believe so. Everyone thinks he is guilty. If so, no doubt he will resign. Everyone thinks he is guilty. We can replace that if so, or he so, or no doubt he will resign. We should recognize him when we say him. Yes, but supposing not, what do we do? Again, we just indicate, just we utilize, and just we replace the whole clause while utilizing so and not. So, substitution is very much important while utilizing references. After the putting the references, if we do not want to put reference, we utilize their substitution, or substitution can be replaced, or substitution are the words and phrases that may help us not to repeat the statement that we have in our previous conversations.